Welcome to Rap in Order, the interrogation of a hip-hop album, where we take some of the culture's most beloved hip-hop albums, put them on the stand, see if they stood the test of time. Now let's see who we got on the stand today.
Dun dun.
Welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
And I want to start off by saying I apologize, man, because the way we do our albums here, and the way we come up with what we're gonna do, if an album comes to mind, we just shoot it like, yo, what you think about doing this? And this album, for some reason, this artist, when he releases anything, like to me, it's been gold. Like it's been amazing. Like he's known for his ear. He just received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards. So I felt like this would be fun. To revisit because his catalog, from how I remember it, is phenomenal. It's flawless. He has a flawless ear for music. So I was like, oh yeah, why not? Why don't we do this album? And Taurian was like, all right, cool. So after this revisit, it was a little tough. And I'm talking about Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy, as he was known in 1999 when he released Forever. Forever is his second studio album. It followed the flawless debut that was No Way Out that officially introduced us to the family. But the second album came out, it saw some really good success. Debuted at number 2. I think Christina Aguilera debuted ahead of him, but he was really gunning for that number 1 spot. But off the popularity of him being Puff and who he is, the album still did really well, but it received mixed reviews. But it's just an album that was buried in his legacy. Like, people don't really talk about it. And I always wondered why, but I know why.
Yeah, man. Like, remember that year, the VMA Awards, when Chris Rock made the joke? He was hosting it, and he was like, Puffy talking about forever? How about one more?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. And he had everybody run up on stage.
Yeah. No. That was Sean and Marlon. Sean and Marlon was spoofing Chris Rock.
Yeah,
dissing everybody.
Okay.
But Chris Rock did it, and he also made it. Took a shot at him and J-Lo being together and shit, saying that J-Lo can't sing. It was just funny.
Yeah.
But for me, in 1999 was like the height of like Puff's powers. Like he became a rap, like he was like a rap superstar. Like he was like one of the biggest rappers like out, and like that's why so many people in rap resented him, because he understood like what the essence of hip hop and rap was, because like he was born of that. But he kind of like went and like did the cardinal sin of crossing over to pop, and becoming like one of the, like, he wanted to be just one of the biggest entertainers of all time. Yeah, but in turn, it took him to a whole nother stratosphere. Like basically, he became MC Hammer with street cred, or like being allowed in. And what's funny is that like MC Hammer is like very much like certified out in Oakland streets. Yeah, but Oakland is in New York City. So the masses might not know, but if you really think about it, there's no difference in what MC Hammer did and what Puffy did. And MC Hammer actually sold more and did it bigger.
Yeah, and a lot was riding out for Puff for this album. I mean, Mace had just retired.
He was on the verge.
He was on the verge?
Yeah, he was on the verge. Like, it was coming.
Well, when did Double Up come out?
Double Up came out in 99.
Okay. All right, so he was on the verge of retiring, which I'm pretty sure at this point in time, Puff probably already knew, because he's not on this album.
He's like on the hook for, I forgot which song. Like if you
I think the song with Kelly Price.
Yeah, the song with Kelly Price, you're right. Yeah, but he's not giving any song credits.
Yeah. So that was already a little weird to me listening back, because there aren't really many bad boy significant artists on this, with the exception of, I mean, we saw the rise of G-Dep. G-Dep is on here. We saw the rise of G-Dep maybe a couple years after this. Shine is on here, who he was really, really bigging up. Kim is on here a couple times. But this album was weird. Like, it came at a weird time. I felt like he was in like this redemption type mode on this album.
He was.
Yeah, but it was interesting to me why he was in that mode, because he was coming off No Way Out. No Way Out was what, in 97?
Yeah, so he was coming off No Way Out, but you gotta remember, after Biggie died, they was like, yo, your cash cow was going, right?
Yeah.
So then when Mace pretty much like he formulated how to make Mace more like in like the vein of himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then when like he wanted a No Way Out tour, like he was like the star, and like he was just like, yo, I'm just gonna keep this going. Like labels gonna keep throwing money at me. I'm the face of this. So I just think that like he was able to take it somewhere. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna go back to my MC Hammer take. I know some people might not agree, but think about it: shiny suits, dancing, huge productions, remixing samples from the past that making them bigger hits in the 90s. Like everything that MC Hammer did, Puff did. And I'm not even saying this as a slight, because Hammer was fucking cold. I enjoyed the fuck out of Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is just that like he saw what Hammer did, and I think he was able to make like really capitalize on it and use the coolness of New York City to his advantage.
Yeah. I agree with that take. I never really thought about it, but it's true. I think, but like you said, like, Oakland isn't New York, so Puff was, in a way, a lot of what MC Hammer was, but for so much of a bigger city. Mm-hmm. So, like, it kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. For him to have, especially coming off having one of the greatest rappers ever, to pivot to the way that he did was like, people was upset. Like, I even read that Q Magazine in 2006 named this album as one of the worst hip hop albums of all time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which is wild to me, because I don't know if it's like, and I didn't wear this shirt on purpose for this reference, the Mandela effect. I don't know if I'm just remembering Puff's legacy wrong, but I just felt like every album that he's done or that he's been involved with was amazing. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out why people just kind of skip over Forever, or people don't talk about it. So this was an interesting dig. Like, getting to revisit this. You got some prominent names on here. You got Hove on here. You got a certain artist that just got sentenced to 30 years in prison on here. You got G-Dep. You got Lil' Kim. You got Shine. You got some heavyweights, but the sound that he went for was a little all over the place, but we'll dig in. It kicks off with the Forever intro, which is like kind of a redemption. Mario Winans and Diddy produced this themselves. He has some report. He opens it with a report of Biggie dying, and it's like a news report, and then he's in the back like, yeah, we won't stop, and there's like big burst of confidence that comes from Puff that only he does. It's like reminiscent of like Victory type feel to it. The bubbling beginning of it, but what you think?
It sounds bad, y'all. The way it starts off, like you just know, like, okay, Puff is like you could just tell at this time, like when Puff was recording this project, like he was in the studio with all his people. So he had a lot of people don't know Mark Curry. It was like really big part. I don't know if he was officially a part of the Hitmen, but he was a part of that writing team.
Yeah.
So Mark Curry, Sauce Money, obviously D-Dot, Stevie J, he was involved on the musical side, right?
Yeah.
Were around a lot at this time, and I just wonder, like, were they like competing to see who can make the corniest shit for Puff to say? Like, yo, I promise you, he won't say this shit with conviction.
Yo,
he ain't even gonna realize what the fuck he right.
And that's the thing about Puff, right? Like, Puff has always been able to sell his bars with swag, because he'll employ like the best fucking writers that he can get, but the way that he delivers it doesn't really live up to par. Like, he's not the best with his delivery. And that's all over this album. What You Want follows up the intro, for example. It features Kim, and that's a perfect example. Like, it's all over the fucking place. The production, his rhyme scheme, his rhyme pattern is all over the place. And I hate to shit on this man after he gets a Lifetime Achievement Award. And I mean, it's Puff. Like, we love Puff, but this album, man,
consummate perfectionist. It just doesn't make sense what we just want to know what the fuck was he going for. And when I hear it, I'm just like, damn. I'm listening to this album and like I understand the whole formula of what he's doing, but this of all of the projects that he's ever had a hand in, this one you could tell, all right, you know what, he was really going through some shit.
Yeah.
Like Biggie died. At this time he was trying to make sure he was keeping things going. But then also, like, all right, those are the bad things, right? But then the good things is that like he was becoming more and more entrenched in the music industry. And he was working with Mariah Carey. He was working with Jennifer Lopez, helping her on the Six. So I just think that he was able to, because Puff doesn't only like hip hop. I think that he was able to really take what he liked growing up, influence wise, and things that he was seeing from like other musicians, and he tried to infuse it into this album. And this is also another reference, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we just got the project Honestly Nevermind from Drake.
Knew you was going to say that.
Hey,
I was going to lead there. I was going to do it. Go ahead. Yeah.
I just think that obviously Drake is a way better musician than Puff, right? So that's why, like, I think even though he gets a lot of backlash, he gets a lot of praise for his bravery. Puff can't sing, and we know that Puff doesn't write his raps. So I think with Puff, he doesn't get any slack. Because they're just like, yo, you don't have to do this, and you're still giving us this terrible music.
Yeah.
Like, you're stepping out of your box. You're taking risks, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
You could have easily crafted this album for somebody else.
Yeah. And
they probably would have executed it 10 times better than you are right now. And I think that's why so many people were upset with him.
I think, in a sense, every big artist gets that one album that they're like, yo, these niggas trying to box me in. I need to do this so I can know that I'm still in control. I need to do something that's like off the map, so that I know. Like, I mean, Kanye is the only one that kind of does it with every album.
Wayne did it.
Yeah, Wayne did it with Rebirth, and like he did it with a couple other albums.
Nas did it, Distant Relatives.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg put out a gospel album.
Yeah, so I think, there's a bunch of different artists that do it, that kind of just pivot to give you something that you don't typically expect from them and try to like force feed you that shit. And Diddy is in the business of force feeding. Like it's what he is. Like he's been this new song that he got with Bryson Tiller, like he is promoting the shit out of that song, and I just don't like it.
Did you know that song was like on SoundCloud for like at least like 2 years?
No. It does sound a little old.
Yeah, that's why like it's so funny that like people have come up with a theory that it was to Cassie. Bryson Tiller had wrote this song years ago. It has nothing to do with Cassie.
Yeah.
But obviously people are going to take things at the face value and try to connect dots and stuff like that.
Of course.
But it's literally not a new song.
That's interesting. Well, Kim is on this song. How you feel about that? I like Kim's verse.
Yeah, it's a cool verse.
Yeah.
It's not anything where I'm just like, oh man, like Lil' Kim bodied that verse or anything like that. And 99, like Kim was already established. Like Kim had like her place. Yeah. So it was just dope to like get a verse or something like that.
She was in a weird space in 99 though, right?
Yeah,
because she didn't have an album.
She didn't have an album, and then also at this time, I think Kim and Puff were both entering like. They were like rubbing elbows with like some of like the most elite people. Like Kim went to the Met Gala that year.
Yeah.
And Puff.
Yeah.
Like think about it. Like they were like the representation for like now is normal, but like they went to the Met Gala. They were rubbing arms with like people that like we probably at 99 we would have never thought like that rappers would be allowed to be around and shit like that.
They were fully there as a representation for hip hop.
Right.
But now the Met Gala hip hop is all over.
Right. So, like I said again, like I just think that in 99, the place that Puff was at, especially you gotta think about it, coming up 98, right? One of the best years in music. Puff is like on top of the world. The No Way Out tour, he just finished the No Way Out tour, one of the highest grossing tours that year or whatever like that. I think the Rough Riders Cash Money tour was bigger or was in 99 as well. So no, Cash Money Rough Riders tour was in 99, and in 98 it was the Hard Knock Life tour. Yeah. So right. So I think the Hard Knock Life tour and the No Way Out tour like were both like neck and neck. The No Way Out tour was before the Hard Knock Life tour, but That because Jay left that tour,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just as big. So I just think like Puff was coming off such a high, and he had to deal with the loss of his friend, and I just think that he went into the studio and was like, I just want to feel good. I'm going to make whatever I want.
Yeah.
And No Way Out had did so good. Harlem World did so good. Life After Death did so good. It was just like, who at that label, who at Arista Records was going to tell Puff?
Yeah, that's true.
This ain't good.
This is the first, there was a lot of emphasis on this album too, because this is the first album cover, even when you look at it, like he's by himself, you know? So like, there's a lot of emphasis on that. And like, I think he wanted to play into that a lot, where it's just like, yo, I'm by myself. I'm calling all these shots, even though we always felt like he did in the first place. But before, he had all these people in the background kind of like pulling the strings, and he just was the music mind behind shit. That takes us into I'll Do This For You. I'll Do This For You features Kelly Price. I love Kelly Price's voice. I wish she would do more. I don't know what's going on with her. Remember that weird ass story that came out where she was like missing?
Yeah, and then she went on like Vlad and said that that's not true and debunked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know officially what's going on, but I do know that like Kelly Price has been wrong many times over and over by people in the music industry.
Yeah, I hope she's all right. And it stood out to me that she's one of those voices that could like, I feel like the great singers know how to do this, where they can like mimic other styles of singing.
Absolutely.
I feel like she was doing that as Faith Evans on this song.
I agree.
So I don't know where Faith and Puff stood at this time, but I'm curious as to why she wasn't on this.
I think Kelly Price has a strong voice, and she probably at 98 probably was cheaper. Because you gotta remember, this album came out in 99. They recorded in 98. This was before her solo project came out.
Got you. Okay.
So at that time when they were recording this album, Kelly was probably way cheaper than Faith.
But wouldn't he? I mean, but Faith was with Bad Boy.
Still.
Man, okay. Well, either way, I like this song. The Mace being uncredited was a little weird to me.
Right, but he's definitely on it, and that probably was like old vocals or something that they worked on before like Mace started distancing himself. Because remember, in '99, Mace had struck a deal with So Def. And started All Out Records, and then he released the Harlem World album. And Mace was kind of like, he was at a crossroads. He was trying to figure out what he was doing. That would be cool to do the Harlem World album too. Yeah. But it kind of like him and Puff pretty much came up with a formula, and like they both fed off of each other. And, I think like him like distancing himself definitely threw Puff off. I think Mace distancing himself from Puff threw him off more than Biggie Diamond did.
Really? Well, why you say that?
Because as far as like as far as like a performer, like Mace and Puff, that was all them two. Like obviously, like Biggie was the executive producer on No Way Out, and he helped Puff hone his skills as far as like a rapper and everything like that. But like he finished No Way Out, like what I'm saying, like after Biggie died. Mace not being around as much, I think hurt him more, because like I think that like Mace had more of an influence on like his swag, his delivery, and the subject matter things that like he talked about.
That takes us into Do You Like It, Do You Want It, which features Hove. It's produced by Devin Prestige Vanderpool and Puff himself. It's a very forgotten track. Yeah. Nobody talks about this song ever.
Yeah. This is one of those beats though that like gets played on on radio. Sometimes like while the DJ's talking, I don't know, which makes me a little happy. Yeah. Flex loves this beat.
Yeah, this is a good beat. It's very 96, 97-ish to me. And Hove kind of sounds 96, 97-ish on this song. Like it doesn't sound like 99 Hove at all. Or 90, well, I think he recorded it in like 98.
Yeah, I think he recorded that shit while he was on tour with him for the No Way Out tour.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. But it's funny the trajectory that they was both on around this time. Because like Puff, when 96, 97. In 97, when In My Lifetime was coming out, Hove was trying to more so mirror what Puff was doing. And on Do You Like the Shiny Suit era and shit like that, because that's what was in.
Yeah, because the money was coming in.
Yeah.
That time.
that's what was in. But at this time, when this came out, Hov was very much in his own zone, and he was his own star.
Yeah.
And he was in his biggest year of his career.
Right. But I also give Puff the credit. I don't know if this is a good thing, but like the reason why, like a part of the reason why like he left, the Rockefeller breakup happened, also a factor was that Jay was getting tired of seeing Puff on the Forbes list. And Jay wasn't making it because he had to split his money 3 ways. And like basically like him and Puff would be talking shit, and like obviously Jay's like, I'm the biggest rapper in the world. And he's like, yeah, Playboy, but you gotta split that money.
That would piss me off too.
You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody like, that's like you're a ball player and like they're like, yeah, that's cool, man. You got an MVP, but I just won a championship.
Yeah, I just got the championship. See you next year.
Yeah. You know, that's probably why KD did what he did with Golden State. Like, yeah, you know, you killing it right now, but like Steph Curry might get another ring.
Yeah. But yeah, man. This song doesn't get talked about, but I'm trying to think of their other collabs and where I would place this.
Young Jeezy is my favorite collab from.
That beat is amazing. Yeah,
that's my favorite collab.
That's a great beat. Yeah, this one super pales in comparison to that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's not even worth ranking. We'll go right into the next one. Next one is Satisfy You.
Yeah. I mean, shit, it's an amazing song. What, you know,
great sample.
Like, it is what it is. I remember the making of the video for this.
I do too.
And like, I was kind of like thrown off because when I was watching it, like R. Kelly really didn't talk that much. Like he didn't really like Puff would like did like a lot of the talking, and like at that time you could tell that like R. Kelly's status was way like further along than Puff, because like obviously like you always think somebody, but it seemed like R. Kelly was like, yo, I'm just working, man. Like I'm trying to get back to the studio.
Right.
Just get out of it.
Because he was just always R. Kelly was always recording. He had 1 million songs. I think he was dropping almost every year. Yeah. He had like content. Like he was dropping albums all the time. But this was a great song. Like this, everybody used to love this song back then. You know,
I still enjoy it. I like the concept of it. The video, like I said, was amazing. Hype Williams fucking directed his ass off. That's kind of like I think more about when I hear this song, I'm reminded more of the video. Like it was a very sexy, sensual.
It was
video.
Black and white, wasn't it?
Yeah. But like the way Hype did it, he made everything look like, I don't know, like material. Or whatever like that. But shit, like,
Hype can do that, man.
He knows how to shoot. You know, people with black skin, amazing.
Yeah, he makes everything look super like expensive and like value.
Right.
It's great. But we'll go right into the next song, which is This the End Part 2 featuring Twista.
Oh my fucking God.
This song is a mess.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, you wanna know what? This is gonna circle back. So remember a couple episodes ago where I like, you know, basically said the only verse that I ever want to hear from Twista is That Your Chick verse. Like I don't really care for him on slow jams. This song is a song that made me really not give a fuck about Twista, ladies and gentlemen. And like that's why That Your Chick is the exception. Like this was ridiculous. Like I understand it's an opportunity to get on the song with Puff. You Twista, like you're the man in your city, but you really trying to like cross over. But you should have told Puff no.
Yeah, this song is ridiculous. Like the beat is so all over. You can tell because I think a lot of people that worked with Twista back then was just like, well, this nigga rap fast, so it don't really even matter what we put him on because he's just gonna rap fast.
Shout out to Puff, like understanding regional artists, and also like, yo, this was a disservice to the original. Is This the End? Yeah, the original Is This the End is my shit.
Yeah, Part 2, like, this is so bad. It's ridiculous how bad this song is.
Yo, man. I'm mad at myself for listening to this album so much.
It's so rugged. It's gross.
Yeah,
we're gonna go right to the next one, ladies and gentlemen. It's called I Hear Voices, and it features Carl Thomas. It's produced by Carlos, Brody, Diddy, and Nasheem Myrick. Hope I said that right. I don't hate this song. I think Puff. I think the beat is kind of like has like this chilling like undertone to it. I think the only thing that kind of throws me off with this is Carl Thomas. Carl Thomas sounds super out of place on this song.
Yeah, man, old ass Carl Thomas, man. There was no reason for this shit. Carl Thomas was fucking 50 years old in a turtleneck in July singing at the place where they used to film New York Undercover, telling everybody he was 23 years old. What the fuck was that about, Carl?
Yo, I forgot about that.
I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to
But Carl Thomas got some hits, man.
Yeah, he does. Some Rain is the shit. I wish I never met her. That story is hilarious.
Oh, I wish I never met her story. Yeah. But yeah, this song is I don't know, Puff. Like, I would love to talk to Puff about this album. Like, where was he at?
Yeah, I bet you don't remember shit about this album.
Yeah, where was he at? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Did you see his speech at the BET Awards when he got the achievement?
I did not.
It's like 10 minutes of him thanking mad random people. He thanked Cassie, which was like, he looked in the camera and was like, "Thank you, Cassie." Like, it was mad, like, intense. He
spent 10 years of his life.
Yeah, he thanked Bobby Brown. He was thanking mad people, and I was just thinking about Babyface, because Babyface was behind him, and he had to hold that award for 10 minutes. He was just standing there.
Remember when Smokey Robinson got his Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards?
And what happened?
And he made Puff hold his award. And Smokey Robinson gave a long ass speech.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
So I think Puff saw that and was like, "Oh, when I get my shit,
yeah.
whoever got to hold my award is gonna be there for a minute."
He was going off. Like, it was it felt genuine, but it was super bizarre at the same time. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but
I just think that Puff is like a super bizarre person. Did I tell you a story that I heard about Puff at his house in LA? Like, he has a room where, like, you can just get your shit off. Like, so you got beef with somebody, you can go in that room. It's soundproof. There's no cameras. They have lawyers, like, on site to sign NDAs and shit like that. And, like, you can just get your shit off. And, like, the word is like, 50 and Game have gone in there. Him and Drake have gone in there. But yeah, like, that's crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
You said 50 and Game went in there? How you think that turned out?
They said that them niggas walked out and shit, like, the shit was squashed.
I still think that shit is not squashed. It's never gonna be squashed.
Yeah, like,
them niggas.
They said Puff and Drake went in there, squashed it. Jay and Nas went in there. Like, that's like the word. Like, they said, like, niggas just, like, they were like, "Yo, niggas got like a problem." Like, niggas just go in there and they just get their shit off.
Wow.
Like, and whatever happens in there stays in there. But you gotta walk, like, before you go in, you got like there's something, NDA that you gotta sign. There's lawyers on site. So it's like, you can't go back on it. Like, you already signed this away. So, like, if this nigga go in there and break your eye socket, like, you signed it.
That's
like,
it.
Nigga, you supposed to get whatever aggression in out.
There was something that came out that Puff slapped Drake.
Yeah, that's how he hurt his arm.
Yeah.
He dislocated his shoulder.
0 to
I mean,
100.
there's some funny stories about Puff out there just in general. That didn't happen at the house. They resolved it at the house. Also, the other story about him throwing a weight at Justin's football coach.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
And then him trying to pour liquor on Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole trying to break it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's why he had to change his name to Love, because he was wilding, yo.
He was bugging out.
He was an angry man.
His Love era is hilarious too.
Yeah.
It's just, he's all over the place, man. But we love him. So I Hear Voices is followed by Fake Thug's Dedication, which features Redman. Nice sample. Redman I think was a nice amount of energy for this song. Redman is always good energy on the song.
Like that. This is the crazy part. Like, I'll never ever take away from Puff. Like, he knows hip hop and, like, he fucks with niggas.
Mm-hmm.
And he reaches back. And it's always so funny because I feel like it be dudes that, like, really don't be wanting to fuck with Puff. But when Puff make that phone call, niggas would be like, "Yo, that nigga Puff just called me."
Yeah.
The studio.
It still
like,
means it still means something regardless of his rep, regardless of what people think. It still means something to get a call from Puff. Yeah. Like, it always will.
Did you see that story? I feel like there's so many Puffy stories, but did you see that one where Questlove was saying how, like, he went to a Roots show to, like, support them, and he didn't they didn't realize that, like, they have a song where basically, like, they're dissing Biggie, and so, like, Puff, like, came and, like, went in the back, and he was like, "You know, Biggie loved y'all niggas." like, why would y'all disrespect him like that? Like, we were just trying to make money. Like, we were trying to further hip hop, and, like, y'all just shitting on us. Like, nigga, like, we making hip hop bigger. Like, y'all can do what y'all do. We not trying to stop y'all niggas.
Like, y'all niggas got to think bigger. What the fuck?
Yeah, like, it was just mad funny. And Questlove,
they were probably mad quiet.
Questlove, like I gotta show you the story after we finish recording because like he said that like Puff was like really chastising them, like, yo, why would y'all say that about Big? Like he loved y'all.
I could see him agreeing to go just to do that, just to have a conversation with them. Yeah, that's mad funny. But yeah, Fake Thug's dedication is cool. Redman sounds good on it. The sample is great. We don't really need to talk about Diddy Speaks.
No, not at all. Please don't.
Yeah. We can get right to Angels with Dirty Faces.
Son.
Mm-hmm.
Like
with Busy Bone, by the way.
Yeah.
Features Busy Bone.
Bro, what the fuck?
I think he sounds great on this.
No. Puff or Busy Bone?
Busy Bone.
No, Busy Bone sounds great, but it don't sound like he was rapping to the beat that he's rapping on.
Yeah. I agree.
That don't sound like... I feel like Busy Bone laid that verse to another song, bro.
Yeah, I don't think Busy Bone came in there knowing that his vocals would be on an Earth, Wind, and Fire sample.
Yeah. I genuinely don't feel like, yeah, of course, Busy Bone, like, and this was when Busy Bone was at his lyrical peak. This was when there was some niggas who was arguing like, yo, I think Busy Bone one of the best niggas out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And
especially in the Midwest.
Exactly. Like, that was like a thing. And Puff, again, give credit to Puff knowing who were those niggas to fuck with, right? But that ain't the song that he recorded that verse to. So that's what threw it off.
Puff and Busy Bone having a song together is hilarious. It's just, It doesn't even sound right.
Right. That was when Busy went solo. Like, I understand, like, Puff knew, like, Busy was on the rise. I think if his demons didn't really fuck him up, we might be having a different conversation. But,
yeah, this not what I expected when I saw the name. It's like, yo, Puff, Busy Bone, Earth, Wind, and Fire sample? Like, what? It's crazy. He was just reaching and doing different shit. I commend him for that. Because, this was his Honestly Nevermind era. That's what we'll call this.
Yep.
Gangsta Shit features Lil' Kim and Mark Curry. We mentioned that name earlier. Mark Curry dropped a book about him, right? Level. Yeah. Did you read that book?
I didn't read the book. I hate it because I always know a person that knows a person, or I've been introduced to a person. I've been around Mark Curry before. I've actually like had drinks with him when I was younger at Justin's in Atlanta, and it's unfortunate that things didn't work out for Mark Curry and what he expected with the music industry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Curry was very, very close to Shine, so I'm hoping now that like Puff and Shine have made amends that maybe Mark Curry is back around. I'm pretty sure things have been patched up.
You think he needs him around though? You think he's an asset?
Mark Curry, it's not even that. I just think that at times Puff likes to have familiar faces around,
mm-hmm.
and people that know how to like act around him.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Curry is absolutely just one of those people,
and like used to his shit and used to
So I just think that I don't know if he's around him every day, like say his friend that just came home from jail, Corey Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure Mark Curry is like back in the fold. I hope so. But yeah, I mean, Mark Curry, like his name was Mark Curry. Like I just feel like as a rapper name, that just wasn't gonna get him anywhere in the first place.
He sounded like a security guard.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think, like he literally, you don't know who he looks like. He looks like the dude from Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Mark Curry.
Yeah,
that was literally his name.
Yeah. Like he just wasn't going there. Like, yo, bro, like what are you thinking? Like with that name, like, and you mad that your career didn't go far? Like, nigga, it's your fault. Like, yeah, bro, like, come on. His name, like, it just wasn't gonna happen for you. Like, he did great ghostwriting. Like, he helped Puff write some hits, but come on.
Oh man.
Yeah, today's jokes. Ladies and gentlemen.
That'll take us into PS1 to 12 interlude. It's funny, whatever. We'll go right into the next one. Next one is Pain. Pain features G Dep. I like when Puff gets into storytelling mode. This is like reminiscent. This one was reminiscent of Warning, where like all the things that he's talking about, police sirens, blah, 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 like you hear them.
Yeah.
It's like it's super theatrical and it puts you in a moment. It's not as good as Warning, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the G Dep verse.
Mm-hmm. G Dep makes...
Yo, man,
he was a good rapper, man. He was a good rapper.
It really disappoints me, like what happened, what has come of the deputy's career.
Mm-hmm.
I was a huge G-Dep fan. I just thought that nigga was dope.
G-Dep could rap, man. He
Yo.
really could, and he had one of those commanding voices when he rapped.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
he just did. Like
that was dope.
Yeah. Think about it, yo. If you really think about it, the third roster for Bad Boy was pretty strong if like fucking shit didn't go haywire. You have Sean, you have G-Dep, you have Black Rob.
Yeah.
Right? So Total's gone. Mm-hmm. I think Faith was on her way out, right? I think Faith just went straight to Arista. If I'm not mistaken. I forget if she was like lingering around, right? And then you gotta think like, so this is 99, so 2000. So, right? So that era around that time, like he had a strong roster still.
Yeah.
Like
he always had,
Sean goes to jail.
2000s.
Sean goes to jail, right? But then that allows him to shed a light on G-Dep and Black Rob. Black Rob has Whoa. G-Dep has 2 hit records. And then right after that, boom, Puff is able to drop the saga and continues in 2002.
And then this is the remix.
Right.
Or I invented the remix.
And then after that, he goes to reality television.
Yeah.
Dream, Day 26, The Band.
Yep.
Like people, like
it kind of all just flowed.
It's funny how people love to say that Puff fell off, but like it was a while before like the Bad Boy roster really got shitty.
Yeah, I think when people say that, they more so talking about the quality because like after a while, he had a bunch of artists that you line up for that were like kind of one hit wonders.
But yeah, okay, and then I forgot Bad Boy South,
yeah,
8-Ball MJG,
Boys in the Hood.
Young Jock. And even though I'll say this, I like 8-Ball MJG, I know he was more hands-on with, but Boys in the Hood and Young Jock, he wasn't. That was more so Block. But that was just like, another entity. So what I'm just saying is like, okay, yeah, it's one hit wonders, but it's like they still want to talk, like they were still, like if you compare, like Puff is, like Bad Boy, I think that we make the mistakes with a lot of these rap labels. They're not like fully independent. They're signed to other labels, right? Like, but Puff, Bad Boy as a whole label was still competing with Arista, period.
Yeah. Because he's the face.
Every genre. They have comedy. They have comedy, they have country, they have all these different like genres. And like, I think when people say like a label is falling off or a label is doing bad, I don't think that they take into account how well like they're doing with these one-hit wonders, quote unquote. Like, think about it. Machine Gun Kelly is still signed to Bad Boy.
Yeah.
So I get it that like, all right, yeah, like he doesn't have like the hottest rapper out anymore, but like Bad Boy is still like Janelle Monáe is signed to Bad Boy.
Still?
Yes.
That's crazy.
And think about that. Like, think about the fact that like somebody like what Bad Boy has like transitioned into, and like obviously. Like, I believe, like, Puff doesn't run the day-to-day anymore. So it's kind of like the effect of, like, Berry Gordy with Motown, right?
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that, like, people say that, and it's just because it's not, like, in your face, they just assume that, like, something has fallen off. And it's just like, no, like, because, like, Puff still, when they originally came around, he still signed those artists. Puff was still finding people.
That's kind of what he accustomed us to, though. Like, him being, like, in your face. And so when we don't see him, we feel like something is up.
I'm so glad that he didn't. Imagine him just being in Janelle Monáe videos.
I know. And she kind of does her own thing, and people don't really even know that she's with Bad Boy, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Even this new single that he dropped is not under Bad Boy. He opened
Love Records.
Love Records, yeah. So he has like a subdivision, like a R&B fully full label. So I'm interested to see what he does with that too. But yeah, so I think R&B Puff is always a go-to. Like he has a lot of his highlight moments in music are with R&B. So I want to see what this new album sounds like and what he builds from this label. So let's see. That's followed by Reverse. Reverse is the posse cut I didn't know would exist. You got Shine, you got G-Dep, CeeLo, Busta Rhymes, Sauce Money, and Redman on this song.
Right. I want to talk about Sauce Money, bro.
Yeah.
Sauce Money, right, is one of those rappers that, like, back in the day, like, they used to always, like, I remember I've talked about a few times, my boy Tyson. Tyson was a huge Sauce Money fan. And, like, sometimes he would argue that Sauce Money had better verses than, like, Jay. Because, like, he would always, like, say, like, these, like, there was so many niggas on my balls, I thought I lost my dick. Like, shit like that. Like,
or something the way they duck sauce. I forget the line.
Yeah, I thought niggas was Chinese the way they duck sauce.
Yeah.
right? So it's like he always gave like these one-liners, and on this album he does the same thing. And like people just always like reference that, and I'm just like, Source Money was dope, and like he could rap well, but come on, guys, like
he said on this one, he said, I'm the virgin of hip hop. Nobody fucking with me. I was like, I don't like that.
Like he was just sneaking in there. He was just able to get so many punchlines in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just like it's funny because he's actually a really good rapper. He wrote I'll Be Missing You for his mom and gave it to Puff. Right, but I just think like he could actually just write a song without these ridiculous ass fucking punchlines.
Yeah,
but he just refuses not to.
It became like his thing though.
Yeah, it's just funny.
I wonder, like, what's he up to? Like, what's his story?
I don't know, but I'm an avid watcher of my expert opinion podcast with Matt Hoffa, and apparently, like, he's going to be like the next guest, and I'm really excited.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, because I want to hear more about his situation with Rockefeller and why it took so long for his solo album to come out.
His solo album came out?
It came out, but like it definitely is.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this song, who would I say had the best verse? I think probably Shine. Shine and Busta. Shine and Busta sounded really good on this. I don't know what the fuck CeeLo was doing. Barely remember G-Dep on this. Barely remember Redman on this. It was a very random song. Man.
I just think it was dope at this time that Redman was around Puff so much.
Yeah, I do too. In '99, what was going on with? Was that Malpractice?
Who? Redman?
Yeah.
Redman was fresh off of Blackout with Method Man.
What year did Malpractice come out?
I don't even know what album that is you're talking about for Malpractice. Let's see though.
Malpractice. Redman. Yeah. Oh, that was 2001. So it had to be Doc's the Name.
Doc's the Name was 2000.
Yeah.
That was I'm telling you, this was off of Blackout, the album with Method Man Redman.
Okay. Yeah, Doc's the Name was 98, but it was called Doc's the Name 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so they could have been around,
Blackout had to be either... Maybe you're right. No. Blackout was 98 as well. So both of them was out at the same time. Can you check that for me, please? Blackout.
Blackout?
Yeah, I'm actually curious now.
Let's see here. Yeah, 99.
99.
Yeah,
okay.
September, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
But they were on the Hard Knock Life tour as well, like opening and stuff. So.
And that came out a month later. So, yeah, they was around each other. But yeah, I like that Redman pops up on this album. I always enjoy Redman features. Real Niggas follows that up. Real Niggas features Lil' Kim and Biggie. It's solid. Sounds good. I can't remember where this verse from Biggie is from.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I didn't like. It was just frustrating. Like, stop doing that to us. Don't give us you know what I'm saying? Like, don't give us this verse.
Because Biggie was a very like. He didn't have that grind that Pac did. Yeah. He didn't sleep in the studio.
Yeah.
So giving us all these leftover shits from Big is annoying. Because when I hear it, I'm like, all right, where's this from? Where's this from?
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I didn't care for this song solely for that reason.
Yeah. Kim sounded good, of course. But yeah, that takes us into Journey Through the Life. Journey Through the Life features Nas, Kim, Siegel, Harv Pierre talking shit. Nas sounded really good on this. I like Nas on this. Yeah. Siegel, another case of where's this verse from? That shit has been haunting my mind. I'm like, yo, where the fuck is this Siegel verse from? Because I've heard it. Yeah, maybe he did it on High 97 or something. Yeah.
It was very interesting to me, like the group of people that Puff got together. I'm like, I bet you can't tell these niggas they were gonna be on this song. It just was interesting. Harv Pierre is somebody that's very interesting to me because it's like you don't see him anymore at all. You went from seeing him all the time looking, Harv Pierre got that like surprise face he always got, like he was looking surprised and shit, just like a big baby. He's bald headed, but like it's just. Like, I'm not mad at it. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, it just seemed like Puff was just like, yo, I'm gonna just get everybody on this shit.
Yeah.
Beans, I think you nice. Nas, I think you nice.
Well, they was around. They was probably just around.
Yeah, doing just in the studio just
in their own sessions. Because the Truth came out in '99, I think.
Yeah. And I think, well, at this time, like, you know, Puff did Hate Me Now.
Mm-hmm.
And this was pre-Steve Stout ass whooping.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, these people were just around. Yeah. And then Journey Through Life is followed by Best Friend, which features Mario Winans. Terrible song. The song is terrible.
Like, I can't believe people sat in the studio. Like, I get it. Like, he's Puff. And it's like, you know, you don't really want to say a lot to him.
That's exactly, bro. That's exactly why, though. Like, nobody's gonna say anything to Puff.
Yeah, and his temper problem was like through the roof at this time.
You tell him a song is bad, you might get hit with a barbell. You don't know what he's capable of. This nigga's crazy. It's like, all right, yeah, man, this shit is dope. What I'm gonna say?
Yo, Puff, I'm not. You're not what?
You not what? You not what is crazy. Because what you gonna say? What you gonna say? Remember, like on Last Call when Kanye was like, yeah, I mean, I was on the bus, you know what I'm saying? I was on the train. I'm not gonna say nothing. That's how niggas was probably thinking. What you gonna say to Puff? That's followed by a Mad Rapper interlude, which was interesting that he brought back.
Yeah.
How we feel about this one?
Nah, I love the Mad Rapper interludes. I love all of them. I actually would like it if somebody would like make a live action versions or cartoon versions of each Mad Rapper skit.
That'd be fire, actually.
I would love it.
That would be fire. But yeah, it's nothing really crazy about this one. This nigga got Cheddar Dog, and I did a track on Mace album, and I ain't gonna lie. Whatever, like it's nothing that's a big highlight in this one. So it's kind of a wasteless. He didn't really use it the way he could have.
Right.
And then the album wraps up with PE 2000, Hurricane G with the feature. It's produced by Puff. This was the first single from this album that actually had me excited. This was a great song.
Yo, it's crazy. This is the lead single to the last song of the album.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting to me. I enjoyed it. Like, I mean, it was a play off of the Public Enemy song by Chuck D and Flavor Flav and the Gang, the Bomb Squad. I just really enjoyed it. I wish that he would have got Flavor Flav to just be talking shit on it.
That would have been dope as fuck.
Like, I think that would have probably like better served things if he would have just got Flavor Flav just talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to Shorty that he got. What's her name?
Who?
Shorty that he got to talk shit.
Oh, Hurricane G?
Yeah, Hurricane G. There was no point for that. He should have just got Flavor Flav. He wasn't doing shit in 99.
Yeah, so this was after his assault that this came out, right? On Steve Stout.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, Puff was like uber fucking famous. He released a Spanish version to this song.
Yo, son, the fact that he was on a Puerto Rican parade float performing this shit, and then he put the video. I thought that was hilarious, bro. I was like, damn, he really leaning into this shit with J-Lo. That shit was crazy, and that shit went off too.
Yeah, it did, bro. It's crazy. What a time, man. But that brings us to the end of this album. As you have been tuning in and hearing, wasn't very good. I would give this album 1.5 waffles.
I get this. This is the first time I've ever done this. I give this album a fucking 0 out of 5. This album is shit.
This album is not very good. Yeah, man. I even feel generous giving it 1.5. This album,
because I mean, it got Public Enemy 2000 on there. But nah, fuck this album.
It got Public Enemy. It got Satisfy You. I never need anything from this album though. Yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, man, I will give this a 0.
Yeah, man, fuck this.
I don't need anything from this album.
Nope.
And I think this album, going into this, I really am curious about Puff's creative process with this album, like what he was thinking, what he was trying to do, what he wanted to accomplish. I'm always curious about the pitfalls of these artists when they release shitty music, because I want to know where their mind was at. Did he really fuck with this shit when he was doing it?
Oh yeah, he was loving it.
You know,
he was loving it, but I bet you he ain't playing it no more.
Nah, this album has been unwritten from his legacy. Nobody talks about it.
Absolutely.
You know how on the internet people love to, on this day 25 years ago, this album came. Nobody does that for this album ever.
You're right.
Niggas celebrate No Way Out like clockwork.
Yeah. You're 100% right.
Nobody does that for this.
Never.
And it's always, you know, this episode was to feed my curiosity. I gave myself homework with this album, and yeah, now I know exactly why. So thank you for entertaining me for this, and for sitting through it. But yeah, that's it. You don't need to revisit this album, but Puff's legacy is cemented. Right. It's not in question. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
We out of here.